Welcome back, everyone. So these are the directions for Unit 7, Lesson 5. So this isn't a very difficult one. It's not a lot to go over. It's like our lessons in the past where there's an episode of the century to watch on Edpuzzle with the questions integrated and the questions on a Google Doc that you can use to answer them as you so desire. So let's get right into it. Essential questions are: what were the effects of the national crisis on average Americans and specific groups? So what you're looking at here is what was going on during the war back home in the United States. So lesson number 4 was all about the military history, about those fighting it abroad in the Pacific and Europe. We're going back home for a bit, right? This was a total war situation where everyone contributed, including those that were at home. So mostly women, children, elderly people. What were they doing to contribute to the war that they couldn't actually fight in? So we're seeing of how they kind of stepped up the plate to do that and what the effect was upon them. And then lastly, how did the United States change economically, socially, politically because of the crisis? So with people so involved in the war, it often opened up opportunities for groups that did not have those opportunities before, like women, like African Americans as well. So we need to consider that of what changed because people really had to contribute to this war in order to get it won. Right? The key skill this time is contextualization. So again, context is all about thinking of the general trends, cause and effect, the broad things and patterns going on within the time period. With the century and with the videos like this, they set up a clear kind of like path for you to say, this happened, then this happened, then this happened. And also with our good friend Peter Jennings, he explains it pretty well to say, how does it connect to the bigger picture of why this was important? So you're considering broad trends, what people commonly believed, how some events caused the other ones, and what the era, the home front in World War II, what it was all about. Lastly, 2 key concepts to get out of this. World War II was a total war, which means every person in every level of American society had to contribute to the war effort. Total war means you have no choice but to win it, and it affects people at home as well as those that are fighting it themselves. Secondly, there were significant challenges and new opportunities on the home front during World War II that would later change attitudes towards civic engagement and perspectives on the government. So what this means is that as people got more involved in the war effort at home, it gave them a sense that they could be more involved in the future, but the government also made decisions on the home front that made people question whether the government was honoring people's rights and the Constitution and all that business as well. So kind of the 2 opposite things there. Everyone has to contribute and there's new opportunities, but then there's things that we have to question about what happened on the home front as well. All right, so let me go over to Google Classroom to show you what to do. Shouldn't take long. Here we are on Unit 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the video you click on for Edpuzzle. Remember, it stops the video to tell you, here's the question you will be considering for the next 3 to 8 minutes. Those questions are also posted on this Google Doc right here for you. So remember, these are the questions that will be there. You have a copy of this shared with you. You can type in your answers if you want. What this ultimately helps you with, hint, hint, is on the source analysis assessment at the end, if you choose a document that comes from the era of the home front, you give yourself a lot of context about what to include there in the context by doing this ahead of time. So again, these assignments are really suggested and optional. The assessments are required, but you can then use the assignments to really help you do the assessment. In some ways, already have it done. All right, so revisiting this to finish us off, remember essential questions 2 and 5. What were the effects of World War II on average Americans and specific groups? How did the U.S. change because of World War II? We're setting up the context for the domestic front, the home front, and those 2 concepts, we were at a total war. Total war brought on new challenges and opportunities. All right, folks, that's it. You'll see me next time. Until then, bye-bye.